Hey everyone, I know it's been a hot minute, but let's get back to baking, okay? Today I'm making a milk rice cake, so let's see how it goes, huh? So now what do we need? We need 90 grams of butter or margarine if you have that, some 75 grams of sugar, vanilla sugar, egg, flour and baking powder to make the dough, but I'm gonna put in the recipe right now. So now let's make sure that we zero our scales over here, over this way, or maybe I'll just do that so you guys can see. So scale is zeroed, and now 250 grams of flour go in. A bit more. So there we are. Now let's switch back to our big bowl. So we're gonna basically make a base that we're gonna add a topping and a filling onto. What did we say? 75 grams of sugar. So that goes in, and then 90 grams of butter or margarine. I forgot to buy butter, so I'm using spreadable here. It's butter mixed with rapeseed oil, so kind of slightly tricky either way. So, and 90 grams. Let's just make sure that we 50 or 45, okay. So this is roughly 90 grams of butter. Let's get that in there as well. So, and we have our sugar and our butter in here. Now we're gonna add some baking powder. So here, our teaspoon of baking powder. I don't have vanilla sugar, but a few months, months I think now it's ago, Lidl had these different kind of flavored sugars. So I'm gonna use a teaspoon of maple sugar. Then it'll just be flavored like maple a little bit, and that's not a bad thing. And then we'll add in our vanilla extract on top of things. So it smells already. Is my camera? Now it's out of focus and back in focus. Okay, well that's just what we need to live with right now. And then we add our egg. So, and then with a snap, it'll be dough. And there is the dough. So all you do is basically just knit this puppy with your hands. If you notice it's sticking to your hands, like you can see from my hands, like it was a bit soft, so a bit of it is still sticking to my hands. Then add a bit of flour to get it a bit more into cake dough dryness. I don't know what you want to call it, moistness or not moistness, depending on how it goes. Then here we have a cake tin that's been oiled by my assistant, and now I'm just going to slowly press down this dough into the cake tin so that it covers the whole bottom and goes up the edges a little bit, because we're gonna make a bit of a pie kind of situation, like I said, where we fill this. And as you can see, there's a bit of oil coming over the edges, which means we probably use a bit too much oil to put in, but that again, that's not the end of the world. So Now we have this in, we're gonna leave this chill in the fridge and we're gonna make the filling. So now the next thing what we're gonna do is add our Milchreis mix. Don't know why this keeps focusing on other things, but I'll figure it out at some point. We'll put in our Milchreis mix and then we'll add some milk. If you don't have the pre-made Milchreis, then you can buy a pack and make it yourself. And if you can buy pre-made custard, then you can just mix both of them. If not, then, and you're like me, because you didn't plan ahead, then you're just gonna add the Milchreis and two to three of these 2 to 3 tablespoons of the custard and just mix it in and stir it through so we have no clumps. And then we're going to slowly heat this so that it thickens again. And once it's cooled off a bit, we're going to add some mascarpone to make it even creamier. But for that, I'm going to jump ahead in time. So, to quote Zach Braff, and we're back! So, I've cooked down the Milchreis with the vanilla pudding, so that, you know, that powdery, see, we're using a powder, so the powdery flavor goes away. If you, like I said, if you have everything pre-made, just mix it in cold. I waited now to cool this down, just kept stirring with the oven off and took it off the hob. Just added some more vanilla extract just because I want to give it a real vanilla hit. So, and now let's take our lovely mascarpone and we're gonna mix this into our Milchreis and pudding mix, because why not? If somebody asks when you're baking, sometimes you just have to say, why not? Do you have any, why is this again? Okay. Do you have any better ideas? Sorry for the going blurriness. I only realized a little while ago that I was filming in cinematic mode on my iPhone, and then it kind of tries to focus on other things that shouldn't be in focus. So I thought I could lift this under, but it's a bit too cold probably, so I'm just gonna keep stirring now, and I'll be right back when I've stirred this mascarpone properly under everything. It's okay that it's all a little bit liquidy, because we're gonna cook it in the oven anyway for roughly 30 to 40 minutes, depending on how well your oven works. So don't be alarmed if it is quite liquidy, okay? But I'll jump ahead to when it's done. So now what we also have here is some fruit cocktail. If you have a different kind of fruit, like cherries or something like that, you can use those as well, or blueberries or something. You know, whatever fruit floats your boat, right? I have 4 cans of fruit cocktail that I didn't know what to do with, so I came up with this. So as you can see, now I've spread out the cocktail, and now I'm gonna slowly pour in my mixture. So let's make sure we're nice and even everywhere. It'll probably run over a bit, but you know what? I'm not bothered by that. The moisture will evaporate and we'll give it a nice flavor. So I have some left, which means someone will eat it out of the pan in a little bit. But for now, as you can see here, it's all in, and now it's gonna go into the oven for, like I said, between 30 and 40 minutes, maybe 45, depending just how your oven is. It is quite wet, so preheat your oven at like 200 and then turn it down to 60 and just let it cook slowly. Like just pop it in. Don't forget about it, but you know what I mean. Just pop it in and just leave it there. And then we're gonna see when it's done. I'm gonna take it out later and then just probably leave it cool for maybe an hour or so and then I show it to you guys. So, see you then. So guys, as you can see, my cake is done. And I'm using my lovely turning table remix to show you how nicely it turned out, and I can't wait to taste it. So I hope you guys have as much fun making this as I will, or as I had. I'm gonna put all of this, of course, as always, in the description on my YouTube channel, so that you have the full recipe, and as well as my patreon.com/projectdad. If you want to support me that way, maybe you'll be the first one. Been doing this a while, still no patrons, but yeah, that's a different story. So okay, well, we're gonna all in this house now have a lovely bit of cake. And yeah, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I am your dad, Steve, and I am out of here.